Welcome to the Money RX for CRNAs podcast. I am so glad you're tuning in today because we're going to tackle one of the most overlooked yet critical aspects of retirement planning. Something that could make or break your early retirement dreams. Picture this. You're 58 years old. You've been grinding it out in the OR for decades. Those 4 a.m. call times are wearing on you. You've saved diligently. Your 401k looks solid. You're thinking about hanging up your scrubs and finally enjoying that retirement you've been working toward your entire career. But then reality hits. You realize Medicare doesn't start until age 65. That's 7 years of needing health insurance on your own. And friends, let me tell you something. This isn't just about finding coverage. It's about finding coverage that won't drain your retirement savings faster than a patient going into shock. I was talking recently with a CRNA who said to me, "Brett, I thought I had everything figured out until I looked at COBRA premiums. $2,600 a month just for me and my spouse. That's over $30,000 a year just for health insurance." And that CRNA is not alone. According to recent data, the average full premium for family health coverage runs nearly $24,000 per year. For single coverage, you're looking at over $8,000 annually. When you're no longer getting that employer subsidy, these numbers become your reality. But don't panic. There are strategies. There are options. And by the end of today's episode, you'll have a clear roadmap for navigating healthcare costs, whether you're retiring at 55, 60, or anywhere before the magic age of 65. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about why this matters so much. The average retirement age in the United States is actually 62, not 65. So most people are retiring 3 full years before Medicare kicks in. And for many CRNAs, the desire to retire early is even stronger. You've had a physically and emotionally demanding career. You've made good money. You want out before your body gives out. But healthcare can wipe out your retirement savings. In fact, a healthy 65-year-old couple who retired last year will likely use nearly 70% of their lifetime Social Security benefits just to cover their medical costs in retirement. And that's with Medicare. Imagine the impact without it. Now, let me be clear about something. This gap in coverage isn't just expensive, it's dangerous. Going without health insurance isn't an option, not at our age, not with our income levels, not with the liability we face if something catastrophic happens. So what are your options when you retire before 65? The first option is COBRA coverage. Now, COBRA is probably the most well-known option, and for good reason. It allows you to continue your employer-sponsored health insurance for up to 18 months after you leave your job. The advantage? You keep the same coverage you had while working. Same network, same doctors. Your deductible doesn't reset. It's familiar and convenient. The downside? You pay the full premium. Remember, that employer subsidy we talked about earlier, it disappears. According to recent studies, the average employer covers 73% of health insurance premiums for family coverage and 83% for single coverage. Under COBRA, that assistance vanishes and you become responsible for the entire cost. But there's one silver lining with COBRA that many people don't know about. You can pay those premiums with your health savings account. If you've built up a balance in an HSA, you can use those tax-free dollars to pay COBRA premiums, which helps make the cost more manageable. When does COBRA make sense? I think if you're close to 65 and just need a few months of coverage until Medicare kicks in. Or if you're close to hitting your deductible while still employed and want to stay on the same plan for the rest of that plan year to avoid resetting. The second option is health sharing plans. Health sharing plans aren't technically insurance, but they function similarly. Nearly 2 million people use these plans. You pay a monthly amount that functions like a premium, but you pay healthcare costs out of pocket first and then submit for reimbursement. Now, the major advantage is cost. These plans tend to be much more affordable than traditional insurance. The risk? They're less regulated than traditional insurance. While many people have used these plans successfully for years, there are horror stories of people not being reimbursed for large bills. Now, you could say the same thing about traditional insurance companies, but health sharing plans carry more inherent risk. Most health sharing plans are faith-based and may require you to agree to certain lifestyle commitments. They also typically don't cover pre-existing conditions and may cap the total amount they'll pay for medical expenses. If you're considering a health sharing plan, do your research. Look for plans with good track records and understand exactly what it is and isn't covered, and be comfortable with the additional risk you're taking on. Okay, option 3, the health insurance marketplace. This is the big one, the Affordable Care Act marketplace. For most people purchasing insurance on their own, this is the most common solution. Now, when you first look at marketplace premiums, you might experience sticker shock. They're often much higher than what you paid while employed. But here's the critical part that many people miss. You may not have to pay the full premium. This is where premium tax credits come in. These credits lower your monthly insurance premiums based on your household income and size. Now, the amount you receive is based on your income relative to the federal poverty level. In early retirement, you likely have some control over how much income you report on your tax return. That means you have some control over the premiums you pay for health insurance. Let me give you a real example. A 62-year-old married couple in Missouri shopping on the marketplace would find that the cheapest silver plan costs $2,653 per month in premiums. That's nearly $32,000 per year. Crazy, right? But if they show only $50,000 of modified adjusted gross income on their tax return, that puts them at 254% of the federal poverty level. They'd be eligible for an estimated premium tax credit of $2,481 per month, bringing their monthly premium down to just $172. Same plan, same coverage, but $172 instead of $2,653 because of how they structured their retirement income. If their income doubled to $100,000, the cost would be $708 per month. Still much more manageable than the full sticker price. This is why having a retirement income strategy is so important. You can control how much income gets reported on your tax return by pulling from different sources. Pre-tax accounts, Roth accounts, and taxable brokerage accounts can all be mixed and matched to optimize your income level for health insurance purposes. But there is a catch. The way premium tax credits are calculated is scheduled to change significantly in 2026. The subsidy cliff will be reintroduced, meaning households earning more than 400% of the federal poverty level will get no premium tax credits at all. Now, it's possible this gets extended beyond 2025, but it would be a risk to plan around. So those are 3 options. But let's talk now about one of the most powerful tools for healthcare costs in retirement: the health savings account. If you are currently enrolled in a high deductible health plan, contributing to an HSA is like getting a triple tax advantage. Contributions are tax deductible, funds grow tax-free, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are tax-free. You can continue to use HSA funds to pay for qualified medical expenses even after enrolling in Medicare, though you cannot contribute once you become Medicare eligible. This includes Medicare premiums, with the exception of Medigap supplement premiums. Now, the beauty of an HSA for healthcare costs is that it's specifically designed for this purpose. Unlike other retirement accounts, there are no required minimum distributions. The money can sit there and grow until you need it. But what about long-term care? One elephant in the room we need to address is long-term care. Medicare doesn't cover long-term care like nursing home stays or extended in-home care. Neither do most marketplace plans. Nearly 70% of people turning 65 today will require some type of long-term care during their lifetime. It can cost upwards of $100,000 per year for a private room in a nursing home. If you haven't purchased long-term care insurance by your 60s, the premiums may be out of reach. And after age 70, it may be harder to obtain coverage at all. So consider hybrid life insurance policies with long-term care riders. These provide long-term care coverage while also building cash value you can access if needed. And there are special considerations for veterans. If you're a veteran, you have additional options. Retiring service members and their families can continue TRICARE coverage with several plan options. TRICARE Prime gives you the same managed care you received in the military, though now you'll pay annual enrollment fees and network copays. TRICARE Select is a preferred provider organization. It's a plan that allows you to see any TRICARE authorized provider. Depending upon your military status, you may pay an annual enrollment fee or premium. TRICARE Retired Reserve is available if you're retiring from the National Guard or Reserve and are younger than 60. You'll pay a monthly premium and annual deductible, but can see any TRICARE authorized provider. Okay, so what's the right strategy for you? If you're planning to retire just a year or two before Medicare eligibility, COBRA might make the most sense despite the high cost. It's temporary and keeps you on familiar coverage. If you're retiring several years before 65 and are generally healthy, a marketplace plan with premium tax credits might be your best bet. The key again is structuring your retirement income to optimize those subsidies. If cost is your primary concern and you're comfortable with additional risk, a health sharing plan might work. The critical thing is to plan ahead. Don't wait until you've already retired to figure this out. These decisions need to be part of your overall retirement strategy from the beginning. Work with a financial advisor who understands the interplay between retirement income planning and healthcare costs. The strategies for optimizing your income for premium tax credits can be complex, but the savings can pay for professional advice many times over. Remember, healthcare costs in retirement aren't just about insurance premiums. You need to budget for routine care, unexpected medical expenses, prescription drugs, and potentially long-term care needs. Consider this. You've worked your entire career in healthcare. You know better than most people how expensive medical care can be. Don't let inadequate planning for healthcare costs derail the retirement you've worked so hard to achieve. Now, the good news is that with proper planning, healthcare costs don't have to be a barrier to early retirement. They just need to be factored into your overall strategy. For any CRNA thinking about early retirement, your takeaway message is clear. Healthcare costs are manageable with the right plan. And it starts with understanding your options, structuring your retirement income strategically, and working with professionals who can help you navigate the complexity. Because at the end of the day, you've spent your career taking care of others. Now it's time to take care of yourself. You deserve to retire on your terms with confidence that your healthcare needs will be covered without breaking the bank. The next step is simple. Start planning now. Don't wait until retirement is around the corner. Understand your options, run the numbers, build healthcare costs into your retirement projections. And remember, this isn't just about finding the cheapest option. It's about finding the right option for your specific situation. The option that gives you peace of mind and protects both your health and your wealth. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Money RX for CRNAs. If you found this helpful, please leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe so you never miss a future episode. It really helps the show and it makes it easier for other CRNAs to access this content. Until next time, make it a great day.
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. This podcast does not engage in rendering legal, financial, or other professional services.